Hey there, good afternoon and welcome to BYJU'S exam prep channel that is dedicated to your success in the upcoming CAT exam. So it's really nice to see that you've started your preparation soon. You've started your preparation early. What it does is that it gives you this amazing opportunity to go ahead and manage your preparation from the basics, from the foundation itself. My name is Vikrant. I am your personal coach for all things related to English and communication. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you are able to attend all of the sessions that we bring for you here and you benefit. So before I take you over to the question, here is something for you to ponder over, think over right on your screen. I very firmly believe in this. Most of us do not really do justice to the talent that we have, to the gifts that we have, and that is because we lack consistency, we lack habits. So those are the things that you need to sort, and if you can somehow take care of those things, I am sure you'd go on to have an amazingly successful stint in whatever you do, right? And to that extent, I think there is this fabulous little book called Atomic Habits. I'm thinking of reading this book along with my students, people who work with me, and to glean the important lessons and how we can go ahead and apply those lessons to towards attaining greater success. A very good afternoon, Snehal. How are you doing? So this session is all about para completion. So what exactly is para completion? I'd say, as the name suggests, para completion is a question type where you get a paragraph with a blank, right? So essentially we'd say it is a paragraph with a blank, and this is a question type that is not new. This is a question type that has been there as a part of the CAT for a good couple of decades. So there have been years when it was asked, there have been years when it was not asked, but you've had this as a feature in the CAT as well as the other entrance exams. But then the question was missing from action for the last 7-8 years in the CAT exam until CAT 2022, where this question type made a reappearance in a new avatar. So what was that new avatar? So normally, prior to this, whenever this question was asked, they gave us a paragraph with a blank, and that blank was followed by some answer choices. Every answer choice gave you a sentence. You were supposed to pick up the most suitable sentence for that blank, right? However, in 22, they changed things up a little and the presentation became different. So in these questions, the examiners gave us one sentence, just one sentence. That sentence was followed by a paragraph, and in that paragraph, you had 4 blanks. And your job was to figure out the most suitable place for this sentence, the most suitable blank for this particular sentence. So as you can see, in terms of the thought process involved, in terms of the core skill set involved, it hasn't really changed. But yes, your approach now needs to be slightly different to make it to be more suitable for this particular question type. So how do we go on to approach the question? Let's go ahead and deal with that. Let's go ahead and talk about that. So the very first thing that I recommend is that you read the entire paragraph. I see a lot of people who, when they start solving this question, they start with the sentence. Then they go to the paragraph. That's not going to be very useful. So I'd suggest that don't start here. Start off by reading the paragraph. Now when you read the paragraph, identify, when I say identify the subject, I'm basically asking you to figure out the theme of the paragraph, what it is that the paragraph talks about, and if possible summarize it in your own words. Now what most of the times happens is that we struggle here, and therefore it reduces our accuracy rates. Now I have already talked about these things in my session on parajumbles, in my session on paragraph odd one out, so you can go ahead and revisit those sessions if you want to, and that should help to a certain extent. So once you've done that, look at the supporting detail and how it develops. So every paragraph gives you a topic that is confined to a particular aspect. So every paragraph has a topic confined to a particular aspect. In 70% of the paragraphs, that topic plus that aspect is stated in the opening itself. Thereafter you'd find some supporting details, and for each of those supporting details you may find some elaboration, some facts, some statistics. So you need to see how all those things are arranged or organized within that paragraph. Okay, so in order to do that, I'd suggest that you break that entire paragraph down into a series of small ideas and then check for that flow. So there are different paragraph patterns, okay, which have different flows. For example, it could be a narrative paragraph which proceeds by the way of a story. It can be an argument paragraph which essentially gives you a conclusion backed up by some reasons or evidence. It can be an explanatory paragraph for that matter, which basically goes ahead and clarifies some opening statement. It can be any of these things, and there are more. I'm just giving you some of the commonly occurring paragraph patterns. There are of course more. So look at how those ideas develop, and once you've figured that out, once you've reached here, you use that understanding along with the techniques that you've learned while solving parajumbles to arrive at your answer choice through the process of elimination. Reject the blanks where it cannot go. So when I say techniques, you know that you have these word-based and idea-based clues that help us figure out the coherence within a paragraph, the logical flow of ideas within a paragraph. So you use those things in order to zero in on the right answer. Let's try it out together. Okay, so let's go through some practice questions and hopefully we'll be able to put it past us. So here is your first question. Why don't you go ahead, have a look at it, and then we can talk. Oops, hang on, I think this will make it difficult for you to answer it. Why? What is wrong? Hang on. How am I eating into this? Hang on, I'm just switching it up for you, okay? Here you go. Here, I think this is better. So now go ahead, read the paragraph and then we'll talk. I did not realize that the layout will not work for you. So I managed to switch it up now. So where would you like to place it? So let us see. Now, if I read the paragraph, I notice that it is talking about India's first highway corridors with charging stations for electric vehicles are expected to come up along the Delhi-Jaipur, Delhi-Agra highways by 2020. 18 charging stations will be set up near toll plazas on the two routes, the official added. Okay. Then the e-corridors are proposed to be the first under the Ease of Doing Business program, ASSAR, and then it goes ahead and gives you the details of ASSAR. Now, if you look at the sentence talks, can I say that it gives you a description of the two corridors? It gives you a detail about their length. Right? It also uses more specific terms. So if I were to eliminate 3 and 4 can definitely be ruled out, because by then we have moved on from the details of the expressway. So where does this go? Location 1 or location 2? So what is better? So you notice this added and official said connects these two sentences together, and therefore this is going to be the best place for this given sentence, and that is why our answer here should be option 2. Let's dive into our next one. So how about trying this question out and then we'll see. So this is a paragraph that talks about a particular championship. Now the clue here is at the beginning in the beginning itself. As the dust settles. So this basically talks about the actual outcome. So if you read the paragraph, this is talking about a hypothesis. The rest of the paragraph talks about specific matches. So second will be the only place where it can actually go. Okay, so that's going to be our answer. So let's move over to our next question now. Let's see what you choose for this one right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and read the paragraph together. However, many people think it is an unethical activity because tax avoidance is usually used by large companies and wealthy people to minimize their tax liabilities. Corporations have many ways to avoid taxes. Most common way, many large corporations do this. The purpose of the paper is to demonstrate the practices. So if you look at the rest, the paragraph, it talks about the thoughts of the author on people who or the organizations that avoid tax. Now, the last sentence that is given to us describes or defines what tax avoidance is, and therefore logically it should come before the rest of the paragraph. And even if I look at the clue it, this also points towards tax avoidance being mentioned in the sentence right before it, and that is why the correct answer here should be option 1. So there you go. That's your question number 3. Here is the next one. Just give it some time and then let's see. Shall we? So now let's go ahead and dive into this particular question. So what is the paragraph talking about? One of the major concerns of the government is to ensure that nobody is denied professional education because he or she is poor. Indian Bankers Association has formulated a comprehensive model loan scheme. So you notice a loan scheme. You have the scheme here and you have the scheme here. So they definitely cannot be at 1 or 2. It has to be either 3 or 4. And if you look at the idea, it's only when the scheme is approved that it can come into practice and is expected to ease the financial burden. If it is not even approved, how will it really go ahead and ease that financial burden? And therefore, the last sentence should be at location 3. So that's how we can go ahead and work with it. And here is one last question for you. Let's go ahead, have a look at this, and then we'll move on from here. So if we were to go ahead and look at this one closely, carefully, these are the raw materials. So the sentence that comes immediately before should talk about or should correspond to these. There should be some noun that corresponds to this. So 1, 3 and 4 will not have any noun that can be referred to with the help of these are the raw materials. But the sentence right before blank 2 is the one that allows us to do that, and that is why our answer here must be option 2. So that's it for today. If you liked working with me, don't forget to like the session, and you can unlock your free trial by going to BYJU'S Exam Prep app. That will give you a first-hand experience of this fabulous and detailed course that we have gone on to create for you, and it has actually produced stellar results. So I hope that will tell you what all you are missing when it comes to your preparation. So that's it from me today. If you want to reach out to us, use any of these places. Until we meet next, stay safe, stay focused, and stay in touch. Keep working hard and keep letting us know what it is that you need most help with, and we would love to help you with it. Take care and see you rather soon.